Welcome to Compassion Speaks. Here we give a voice to the nonprofits in the community. I'm your host, Ezra Borrego, and today we have Dave Alexander, which is the CEO and principal of the White Mountain Academy for Gifted Individuals. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
You bet it. Hey, I know of you because we work together in some other things in the community.
Yep.
So you started this academy. How long ago did you start this academy for?
Well, we opened
gifted kids?
January 7th of this year.
Okay.
We had a couple of kiddos that didn't have a place to go, and so we opened rather quickly to give them a place to go, to have a school to go to.
Okay. So you gifted kids. So what are you talking as in gifted? What is that framework or what is that spectrum of
Well, I came up with
kids?
the name because, all students, all people have gifts that they can share with their community. And it's our job as teachers and educators to figure out what those gifts are and to figure out where they go next.
Okay. So gifted as in autistic kids,
Yes.
Down syndrome kids, and what are other kids that you have at your school besides those two that I just mentioned?
Well, right now we only have kids with autism, but we want to branch out into other disabilities. Kids with cerebral palsy, kids with Down syndrome, like you said.
Okay.
We just want to cover the spectrum. We don't want to leave anybody out. We specialize in kids with severe disabilities. That's our passion. But we like all kids. We want to help all kids, especially, those kids that aren't doing well in the public school and aren't getting what they need.
Right. They kind of get lost, or they kind of have where they're with the kids in the class, and then here they are. The teacher just can't really focus on that one kid as much, and sometimes it's disruption, and sometimes they have to take extra time for that kid. So a school like this is perfect for them.
Right. Absolutely.
So where did you get some of your background at doing this? What did you do before to be able to start this academy?
Well, I've been a teacher for 18 years. I have a master's degree in special education and a master's degree in administration and supervision.
Wow.
So I've been doing it for a long time. I started working with kids with special needs when I was in 5th grade.
Really? Wow.
So, and then, after I graduated high school, I ran summer programs and things for kids with special needs. So just kind of been doing it all my life. I moved up to the mountain in 2013, and I ran the self-contained program for Sholo High School, where we went from 10 kids when I started to 27 kids. So we had a pretty big program, and we did lots of cool things. And so that kind of got my experience going in the school, working with these kids. And so I spent 4 years there, and then I became the principal at Lexington Life Academy. And that was a really good experience. But I felt that the mountain needed more. It needed more services. It needed to be open to more than, kids with just autism. So I saw a need. I got together with my wife, Nicole, and my mom, who's our CFO. She's been working in finance for 15 years. So we all got together and started this school together.
Wow, little family organization.
It is.
So you mentioned 5th grade. You had an interest in these kids in 5th grade, these special. So from back then to now, I look at it as more of a mission, more of a calling in your life.
Absolutely.
Because you just got that draw. It just wasn't a job that you said, oh, I think I want to do that. It's something that you had your heart into for a long time.
I knew I wanted to be a teacher in 5th grade. I thought I wanted to teach 5th graders, but, that didn't really sparked my interest as much. I'd spent 5 years being a math teacher, teaching 8th grade math, and that was fun. I love math, but I love these kids more.
So you have, where's your location at? Where are you doing this at, your academy?
We're in Snowflake, 2 blocks west of McDonald's, right next to the softball field of Snowflake High School.
Okay. And you have hours that you start is it Monday through Friday?
Yep, Monday through Friday. Monday through Thursday, we go 9 to 3, and then Friday we go 9 to 1.
Okay.
So we can have staff meetings and stuff in the afternoon on Friday.
Okay. And how are these kids brought there? What happens?
Oh, well, we provide transportation to all our kiddos. Right now we're picking up kids in St. John's, Heber, Lakeside, Pine Top. So we'll go all over the mountain, to get these kids. And we want to provide as many services as we can.
Wow.
So we provide transportation, we provide free breakfast, we provide free lunch. Everything's included. The breakfast and lunch are home-cooked meals, and the kids participate. They get those life skills. They learn how to cook and to become more independent. And that's more of our mission, is to help these kids to become as independent as possible.
Yeah.
Because we're looking at the next steps.
Yeah.
Where are they going to go when they leave us? And how are they going to function in real life? How are they going to be functional members of society?
That is neat. So you have ways of getting these kids there. What are your ways of getting information out to the public so they'll know where you're at and what you're doing? And so with families that have kids that are in the spectrum,
Right.
how do they get your information?
Well, right now we have a Facebook page.
Okay.
It's White Mountain Academy for Gifted Individuals. I believe if they just search that on Facebook, they'll be able to find us. They can also search for me, David Alexander.
Okay.
And go that way. We have a website, but it's currently in construction.
All right.
So it'll be up and running soon.
Okay. Do you have a phone number at your school that they can reach you, or you have your personal number?
Yeah, I have
what
my
do you go?
personal cell phone. That way they can reach me at any time with any questions. It's 928-940-0258.
Okay. Just that one number?
Yep.
Okay.
And they can call or text or,
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome. So you get them there. How do kids qualify financially to be able to go there? How does that work?
Well, we use the Empowerment Scholarship of Arizona, and it's the way that Arizona has decided to give parents the choice of where their kids goes to school.
Okay.
So they work, the parents work with the Empowerment Scholarship account. They fill out the application. All they really need is a current IEP, and then they fill out the application, they get accepted, and then they're able to choose what private school they go to.
Okay. You mentioned IEB. What is that stand
IEP,
for?
it's an individualized education plan.
Oh, IEP.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. And it's how the paperwork that we use, for an individualized plan of where they're going in their education.
Okay.
The goals that they need to work on. It tells all about them, their current levels of performance, what they need to work on, what they're good at, and where we're going in the future.
That is awesome. That is pretty neat. To have kids focus on what they're really good at is powerful.
Yes.
I wish I had that growing up more in school.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because there's things I like that I really didn't get touched too much on in school. Right. If I got that in school, I'd be so much better.
Right, and we focus on
confident.
Life skills, social skills, being able to be in public, and not wig out,
Right. Right.
for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But being able to be around people. I have a couple kiddos right now that's their biggest issue is they can't be around other people. And so we need to get them to be around other people, be in the community, be part of the community, and share their gifts with everybody.
Oh, that's so important. The stimulation with all that energy with people and just feel confined or whatever, that's pretty tough for those kids in the spectrum.
Yes, it is.
So you mentioned your wife, your mom, and yourself. How many other staff members do you have besides them?
I also have my sister.
Your sister, okay.
Yeah, she's our DDD coordinator. She's been working with DDD adults for 10 to 15 years, for a long time. And so I brought her in to run that side of it, so we can work with DDD, which is the Department of Developmental Disabilities.
Right.
So that we can offer more programs. We can offer break programs like when the schools are on spring break, or fall break, then we can offer programs. We can offer summer programs for those kids that qualify for DDD services.
That's pretty neat. That's neat that you're getting people around you. You have a mission, you have talents that you have, but a person that really wants to make things happen. You want to get other people around you that makes up for what you don't have to offer.
Absolutely. I want people around me that, do things that I can't do.
Right.
So that we're a well-rounded team, And then I also have a couple other staff. We have a couple drivers, that all they do is transportation for us. And then I have a couple lead teachers that, teach the kids and are with the kids all day.
Okay. So do the kids stay there at the academy the whole time, or do they get to go out to do like field trips and do other things in the community?
We do field trips. We do, they go shopping at least once a week so they can have that skill, being, Walmart or Bashas' or wherever, doing the shopping, paying the bill, getting the change, so they have all those skills, and they're ready when they're ready to move out or wherever it is they're going next. We have to prepare them for that. So
Too bad public schools don't do that.
right.
That would be pretty
Well, that's
awesome.
the unique opportunity
Yeah.
that we have is we're
Yeah.
not constrained by the same things the public schools are.
Yeah.
You know, we have to teach reading, writing, math, science,
Right.
you know, all of those things. But we do that, incorporate that into the life skills and social skills and things that we're teaching. You know, so it's real life applications.
Right, right.
You know, we like to think of our place as a safe place that
Yeah.
they can practice real life experiences so that when they're ready to join the community, when they're old, you know, and graduate high school, they have a place. They have things that they can do. They have skills, you know, where they can get a job,
Right,
you know, things like that.
right. So what do you do to help them with relationships with each other and also relationships with the public? Because I work with special needs kids, of course, also. The public, sometimes they don't quite understand. They feel afraid, they feel uncomfortable. How do you help the kids not to really take that personal or do their best when they see that happening? Do you have any kind of programs with that, with the kids?
Just teaching them, you know, that not everybody understands,
Right,
you know, the things that are happening with us and the things that we do. You know, but we try and get them out into the community as much as possible so that not only they have those experiences, but the community as well has those experiences.
yeah. You know, a lot of the kids with special needs, they're so loving. They're
Yes.
so they know compassion. They want to hug everybody, a lot of them do,
Right.
but some don't want to be hugged at all.
Right, right.
You
You
know,
got to
you
really
gotta
get to
know.
know the kids, you know?
Yeah.
You know, people tell me all the time, well, you've been doing this for a long time. You must be an expert in, you know, these things. No, I'm not. You know, because I have not met every kid.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
every
no, I
kid
know.
is different. They're
Yeah.
just like people.
Yeah.
You know, and you talk to them like people. You know, you don't baby them. You don't.
Right.
You know, a lot of kids are spoiled. You know, and so we got to get them to do things that they don't want to do. You know, a lot of them are teenagers. They act like teenagers.
Yeah.
You know, so you have those same kind of problems. You know, that you got to work through. You know, they don't want to work all the time,
Right.
but they
Right.
need to.
Yeah. Sometimes parents, us as people, we try to protect those that aren't quite in the same realm as everybody else, and we
Right.
want to overprotect them, and it is a detriment to them, isn't it?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, you know, we find that, you know, parents have good intentions, you know,
Right.
and a lot of times it's easier to just do it for them, you know, but it doesn't help them.
Right.
You know, it doesn't help these kids. And so that's our job, is
Yeah.
to get these kids to where they will do things. And, you know, we make them do things, you know, but it's in a loving way, it's in a compassionate way.
Yeah.
You know, we teach them.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So we're going to take a break a little bit, Dave, and we're going to come back and talk about some other things. That's things that you do at your school, what some of your goals are, your future goals, how big you want this school to get.
Right.
And so we'll talk about that when we come back. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a little bit. Welcome back to Compassion Speaks. Today I have Dave Alexander with the White Mountain Academy for Gifted Individuals. And we're just talking about some of the things we're doing with your academy earlier. And I'd like to get a little bit more into some of the goals that you have, some things that you have in the future,
Right.
and some things you'd like to see happen with the academy.
Right. We have a couple big projects that we're working on. You know, the weather's warming up, and so we want to put a garden in place so the kids learn how to grow their own food, you know, and can their own food, and, you know, things like that. We have a little building out back that was the original farmhouse. You know, it was built in 1929, and it needs some renovation.
Yeah.
You know, and so we're hoping to work on that this summer. But I want to turn it into our music studio, our music
Oh, wow.
room, you know, so we can have music therapy and music lessons and things like that. We're also working on putting a sensory room together, you know, and that's for these kids that get oversensitized, you know, oversensitivity
Right.
to light and things and stuff. And so it's a darker room. It has, you know, comfortable chairs, and
Okay.
it has different textures on the walls, you know, so they can go and just decompress,
Right.
you know, from the outside world.
Wow, that's pretty neat. That's pretty awesome. How big was this room going to be? Is it going to be able to hold a big number, or is it made to hold just a few?
It's made
go
to
in
just
there?
hold a few at a time, you know, 4 or 5 kids. It's the size of a bedroom, probably 12 by 15, I think is the size of it. You know, so it's a little space, but it gives them a chance to decompress and not have all of those things coming in from
Right.
from everywhere.
I think we need that too.
Right? I do sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, we need to take time just to sit and just be quiet,
Right.
calm down.
Right.
We just go too fast. And some of these kids can even teach us some of that stuff
Absolutely.
through these programs and remind us what we need to do as individuals.
Absolutely.
So you have that, you have this barn that you want to renovate into music and other things, and this sensory room. Are you looking into possibly working with people there's horse therapy and then there's dog therapy.
Right.
These kids are so calm when they're around horses and dogs.
Right.
You see that in the future?
I do. And I
Okay.
do see some, animal therapy in the future. There are a couple cool ranches around the White Mountains that offer that. And so we will definitely go to those places and, have field trips there. And, we've taken kids out and ridden horses in the past, and it's just a good time. They just love the animals, and the animals just love them. They have a connection,
Yeah. That's good. And there is a connection, even with us. We as individuals, we love to have that companionship with our dogs and our cats and stuff. And sometimes we treat them almost as good as, if not better than our own kids.
Right? Yeah.
But because they're so sensitive to our needs.
Right.
When someone's not feeling good and they're sick, they come up to you and they lay their head on your lap and your knee, and they really are sensitive to kids with special needs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So what are some of the things the big things that you're looking at to see how big your academy is going to get, and what's your major goals?
Well, right now we can have up to 30 kids in the place that we're on now. It's a 6,000 square foot house, so there's plenty of room. It's on a double lot, so there's a big backyard with a basketball court. We want to put a playground, some playground equipment in the back. Those are things we're working on. But it's a big place, and we can hold up to 30 kids now. My eventual goal, 5 years down the road, is to actually build a school, just custom built for these kids.
Yeah.
Where we have 100 kids there, and we can just offer, anything.
Right.
Right now it's based on the individual kid. Whatever the individual kid needs is what we're going to provide.
That's pretty cool. So how many kids you have now, and how much room? You said up to 30 right now.
Right.
How many?
We have 5 kids right now.
5 kids.
Yep.
So you have plenty room to grow.
Right.
Lots of room to grow.
We do. We have, we can have 25 more kids, and we're looking for those kids actively, searching for those kids that need the most help. Like I said earlier, we specialize in those kids with severe disabilities, but we'll take anybody that needs more help than what they're getting right now.
Good. So your staff, no one just can go in there and start working at your place. What does it take for a person to become part of your staff?
Well, they have to go through background checks. They have to be qualified in the thing. We'll be looking for certain people. Once we get the students there and we get a little bigger, I'll be looking for a physical therapist and an occupational therapist and a speech therapist, so that we can offer those kind of things as well. Right now we currently have a CNA on staff.
Okay.
So if we need to take care of, kids with more severe special needs or health problems, we can do that.
Right. Good. I'm sure you have your first aid kits, everything that qualifies you to be able to school. So
Absolutely.
I'm sure there'll be people thinking about all this as they get ready to call you and try to find your website, and because they want their kid to be safe, and they want them to be a great environment and people that care.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. People that really care about these kids is huge.
And that's our main goal. I've always cared about these kids.
Yeah.
I've always loved working with them. It's a fun job to me, to be with these kids and to work with these kids. It's amazing. It's an amazing job to have.
It is. So you and I work together on the White Mountain Autism Academy.
Yes.
And so I see you perform, so you do really well with the kids. And we have some things. Next month is the Autism Month.
Yeah.
And it's blue, the color's blue, and we have activities next month with the White Mountain Autism Academy. Foundation.
Yes.
That's what it is. No, I got Academy from you. So it is the foundation. So it is a foundation, and we do raise money with the foundation to do things for the kids.
Right.
One of our fundraisers that we're going to be doing next month on April 6th. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, the spaghetti dinner. Yeah, it's always been a big fundraiser for us, and we're trying to make it more so a fundraiser. We have a silent auction there where we raffle off different desserts and different things like that. Last year was a big hit. And so this year we kind of want to grow that and, grow the spaghetti dinner into more of a fundraiser so that we can offer kids activities,
Right.
in the summer and things. We take them fishing,
Yeah.
take them different places, we have barbecue for them and things like that. So.
Yeah. And the last 4 years, it's the 5th annual, the last 4 years, Red Devil Pizza
Yes.
has been Red Devil, the
Yes.
restaurant up there
It's
in
a
Pine
good
Top.
dinner.
They donate all the stuff for us,
Right.
which is incredible.
Yep.
Thank you, Red Devil
Yes,
Restaurant,
thank
for
you.
doing that. They're pretty awesome, very caring people. So that has been going on for a while. Kids with the families are invited to come, and we invite all the public to come and just see what we do, to be a
Right.
part of this, to give back, and it's good food.
Yeah, it's a good way for the community to give back to these kids
Yeah.
and adults,
Yeah.
that have special needs.
Yeah. Then we have other things going on that's throughout the year with the Autism Foundation. We have the fishing derby, and you've been a part of that at times.
Yes, that was a lot of fun last year.
And where did we do it at last year? You remember? Was it Oak?
Lazy Oaks?
Lazy Oaks.
Lazy
over
Oaks,
at,
yes.
Over at Rainbow Lake.
Yeah, and just to see the smiles on these kids' faces when they catch a fish,
Yeah.
just something simple as that, catching a fish. It's just amazing to see their eyes light up and they smile and we're laughing. It's just a really good time.
It is. And then we also have a disc golf tournament that we do, and that's one of our big fundraisers that happens.
Right, and that's just getting bigger and bigger every year. It's awesome to see.
And we get the kids involved with that also.
Yep.
And they have little scholarships where they go and they play for free, and they go with either an amateur or a pro
Right.
to go out there with them. And some of those kids are pretty good.
Yeah, they are. Better than me.
Yeah, well, far better than me. I need to play a little bit more disc golf.
Right.
It looks pretty darn fun. What else do we do?
Oh, we got the Derby Down the Deuce coming up,
That's
and we've
right.
actually bought 4 cars, and we're getting them specialized so that we can fit 2 people in there. And that's, a person that works with kids with special needs, and then a kid with special needs or an adult with special needs also riding in the car going down the Deuce. I did it last year, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
These kids are hooting and hollering and laughing and just having a great time. And it was so much fun. They all got medals, that some of them still wear today.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to see that.
Cool. So they have their own steering wheel, then the
Yep.
other individual has steering wheel, and
Yep.
it almost feels like that they are the driver.
Oh, absolutely.
They're in charge. They're
They just had a blast.
cool. We got a lot of things that we do for the kids up here, and it's not just for autism. It's also for everybody in all special needs.
That's right.
Kind of like
That's
your
right.
academy.
Yep.
So that's
Yeah.
what we're reaching out to is kids with Downs, kids with just all the different things that are going out there with
Right.
kids that have a little bit that are gifted.
Right.
It's fun working with them. I have a few friends that I'm dearly, dearly care for in the community that are very close to me.
Yeah.
That are just loving, and they're friends forever with
Right.
me.
Absolutely.
And I know that they're going to be friends with me forever. That's just how they are.
Yeah.
So some of the other things that you are doing there at your academy that you'd like to have people be aware of. Your staff is trained, and you have these
Absolutely.
awesome rooms that you have. You pick them up. How do you wind down their day as they get ready to go home?
Do a couple different activities, just kind of, we have a living room setting that we just kind of chill and talk and, go through our day and talk about the good points of our day, talk about what maybe went not so good, that we can work on better tomorrow, and things like that. I did want to say that we're currently enrolling for next year.
Okay.
Now, big time. ESA, that's the Empowerment Scholarship, has a deadline of June 1st.
Okay.
So they have to get all that stuff in by June 1st for next August.
June 1st.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good. You're doing a wonderful thing.
Thank you, sir.
More of these. People need to find out about this, because there's a lot of people that are kind of lost in the shuffle and don't
Right.
know where to go.
Right.
Sometimes they don't have social media. Sometimes they need to get aware of these things.
Right. And word of mouth is a big thing. A kid with special needs, or a family with a kid with special needs, let them know we're here.
Yeah.
Because we're here to help as much as we can. We don't just do school things. We're
Yeah.
involved in their lives and trying to make them more independent,
Right.
you know, because they're not always going to be in the family. You know, things happen.
Right.
People get older, they get sick,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So we have to give these kids as much as we can so that they become as independent as possible.
Right. So there's a term that they use, I don't know if it's called, not washed out. What is it when they get 18 years old and older that they get lost in the shuffle?
Right.
What is that? What's
I
the
don't know
term
what
for
that term is.
So anyways, those kids get lost.
Yeah, they do.
And so,
they
but when
fall
you,
through the cracks, and, you know, so.
so your skills that you teach is to help them go shopping, maybe help to go get a job.
Right. How to do their laundry, how to cook a meal, you know, we're teaching all of that stuff.
So right now you have those that are really struggling with autism.
Yeah.
Then you have some that are high functioning, and those that are be coming into your school, those can you really teach to go get a job
Oh,
and
absolutely.
to be able to get independent
Yeah.
in
Well,
their lives
you know,
more.
anything that the kid needs is what we're going to do. We can have partnerships with NPC if they want to go to college, you know, and go that route. There's just anything the kid needs, anything the kid wants to do, wherever their gifts are, that's what we're going to pursue.
That is pretty neat. I'm glad you came, Dave, and to be able to talk a little bit about more your academy, what you're doing, and
Thank you.
I wish you the
appreciate
best,
having
and
me.
you got my support, and I'll spread the word as much as I can.
All right, thank you, sir.
And thank you for tuning again in today's episode with Compassion Speaks, and we'll see you next month with another episode, and we'll welcome you back. Thank you for tuning in.